Be yourself. The only advice I could ever get out of my grandfather. For my entire life, I strived to get information, knowledge, and just advice in general out of my older family members because at a very young age, I realized that my grandparents, aunts, and uncles, they aren't going to be around forever. So once I realized that, I decided to start asking them for life advice very early on, and I've tried my best to live my life by those tips that I've gathered from them. My grandmother gave me lots of advice. Don't let other people define you, and always be kind unless they give you a legitimate reason not to. Stuff like that. My aunts and uncles, it was more or less the same situation. About manners, importance of certain work, and various other life advice. But my grandfather was a different story. Over the years, I've lost the majority of those extended family members. My grandfather is still around. And through my years of growing up into the man that I am today, I've constantly gone back and asked my grandfather for his advice. And throughout the years, every time I've asked him, I've been met with the exact same response. Be yourself. And I used to get mildly upset thinking about that, because every time I would ask him, it would just be yourself. He wouldn't go into depth. He wouldn't elaborate, really. And I was trying to come up with a deeper meaning of what that could possibly mean. But it wasn't until my first year of college that I think I finally understood what he was saying. My first year of college, I had a difficult time developing a friend group. I had a hard time finding friends because I tried to do things that I didn't want to do, or things that things I knew I shouldn't have done, all in a desperate attempt to make friends. And it never really worked because people could tell I wasn't having a good time. And I knew I wasn't having a good time. I didn't want to do these things. I didn't want to hang out with these people. I just wanted that companionship. It's about that time whenever I came home during a college break, I thought, you know what? I'm going through a little bit of a rough patch. Might as well ask him again. Hey, Grandpa, if you could only give me one piece of advice for me to live my life by, what would it be? Without hesitation, yet again, be yourself. I'm like, I knew you'd say that. After some time, I decided to really go back and start thinking about it. And I took it to heart. I stopped doing things I didn't want to do. I started focusing on what I wanted to do, what my interests were, what my hobbies were. I only started speaking the way that I speak, not trying to be anyone else. And the funniest thing happened when I did that. When I started being myself, I started to notice that people wanted to hang out with me more. I was starting to find new friends, all around my own personal interests. And ever since then, I've been acting myself, doing what I want, with people that I want. All because of a silly little piece of advice that my grandfather gave me. And sure, it may have taken me almost 21 years to figure that out. But my grandfather had the key to the secret of life, and it was right in front of me the whole time. And all it took was a little less thinking, honestly. Don't always think about the deeper meaning. Sometimes being simple is what it's supposed to be.